Why are you still trying to please everyone? Why are you constantly shrinking, softening your words, biting your tongue, smiling through the pain just to avoid conflict? Have you ever stopped to ask, what is all this kindness really costing me? People aren't respecting you more. They're using you, walking over you, calling it love, calling it you're such a good person. But behind your back, they see you as weak. You think you're being noble, but really you're handing over your power like it's worthless. This isn't kindness. This is self-destruction. This is self-destruction disguised as virtue. Wake up. Not everyone deserves your gentleness. Not everyone should be allowed in your space. If you're always kind, even to the cruel, you're not a saint. You're their favorite victim. Let me hit you with a truth most won't dare to say. People don't value kindness without boundaries. They see it as a green light to take and take until there's nothing left. You think you're doing the right thing, being the bigger person, being generous, but behind the scenes, they're laughing. They're calling you predictable. You're an easy yes. You're the sure no problem person. And they will always come back for more. Not because they respect you. That good people share, they give, they bend. But they never told you what happens when you bend so much you break. They never warned you about the emptiness that comes from being everything for everyone and nothing for yourself. Being too kind trains people to expect you to disappear for their comfort. They stop seeing you as a person with needs. You become a function, a tool. And when you finally say no, suddenly you're selfish, you're mean. What happened to you? They cry. What happened is you woke up. Let's be clear. This isn't a call to become cruel. This is a wake-up call to stop being everyone's emotional servant. Your kindness is supposed to be a gift, not a currency you exchange for love, safety, or approval. If your kindness is conditional on people liking you, it's not kindness, it's manipulation rooted in fear. You can still be good, still have a heart, and still say no. Not today, not you. You are allowed to stop being the rescue boat for people who would never swim for you. You deserve boundaries that sting a little because they protect what matters. You. Kindness without discernment is dangerous. Let me say that again. Dangerous. It's not heroic to help people who constantly hurt you. It's not noble to listen to everyone's sob story when they never ask about yours. You are not a therapist for the toxic. You are not an energy station for the emotionally lazy. And you are not weak for walking away from people who drain you. If your heart feels heavy around someone, that's a signal. If you're always the one fixing, apologizing, or saving, that's a sign. Stop ignoring it. Stop letting guilt wear your face like a mask. Here's what no one tells you. You teach people how to treat you. Every yes you give when you mean no, that's a lesson. Every time you ignore your own discomfort to keep the peace, that's a contract. Every time you keep silent to avoid being too much, you're telling them, go ahead, erase me. You can be kind and still say I matter too. You can love others and still choose yourself. And if someone walks away because you stop being their doormat, good, let them. Their exit is your freedom. Stop mourning people who only stayed because you were easy to manipulate. Let's talk logic for a moment. If being universally kind worked, wouldn't your life be better by now? Wouldn't people return the same energy? Look around, how many of those you've helped are helping you now? How many show up when you need something? Being kind to everyone is like pouring water into buckets with holes. You end up empty, exhausted, and bitter. And the worst part? You start resenting the very people you tried to help, not because they're bad, but because you never showed them your limits. You never made them earn your kindness. Emotionally, this lifestyle is killing you. You're walking around burnt out, smiling through pain, feeling unseen, unheard. You post quotes about love and light while crying in silence. You feel angry but don't know why. Here's why. You've been suppressing your truth in the name of kindness, that pain you feel. It's the weight of unspoken boundaries. That tiredness, it's the exhaustion of being everything for everyone except yourself. It's not depression, it's depletion. You've been robbed by your own habit of saying yes when you meant no. And still, despite the suffering, you hesitate to change. Why? Because you fear rejection. You fear being called rude, cold, selfish. But let me ask you this. Aren't you already being rejected? Rejected by people who don't care about your needs. Rejected by a world that only values your yes. Rejected by your own self every time you silence your truth for someone else's comfort. The pain you fear from saying no, you're already living it. The difference is, when you stop being kind to everyone, you start choosing who actually deserves your goodness. That's not selfish, it's sacred. So what now? You take inventory. You sit down and ask, who drains me? Who never reciprocates? who only calls when they need something. And you get honest. You start saying no without explanation. You stop answering calls that feel heavy. You unfollow energy vampires. You pull back your kindness like it's money. Because it is. Every kind act costs you something. Your time, your energy, your peace. And if someone can't respect that, they don't deserve access. You're not a free service. You are a limited edition soul. And it's time people paid in respect or got nothing at all. You've been handing out pieces of your soul like flyers in the wind, hoping someone, anyone, will finally see your heart and take care of it. But they don't. Because you taught them that you'll give, regardless of how they treat you. You became predictable, easy, safe. And that's not love, that's emotional servitude. Kindness without standards isn't generosity. It's surrender. You're not being strong by enduring mistreatment with a smile. You're being conditioned, trained. You're being broken in like a horse, taught to bow every time someone pulls your reins. Why are you letting them ride you like that? Here's the truth you've been avoiding. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves your story. Not everyone should sit at your table just because they're hungry. You keep feeding people who would never feed you. You keep uplifting people who'd leave you flat the second your life got heavy. You keep excusing behaviors that scream, I don't respect you. And for what? So you can feel like the better person? So you can sleep knowing you didn't rock the boat? But sweetheart, your boat is sinking. And you're still handing out life jackets to people who pushed you overboard? Let's go deeper, psychologically. Being overly kind often isn't kindness at all. It's trauma. It's the child in you who had to stay quiet to stay safe. The one who learned that love must be earned, that needs make you a burden, that saying no means abandonment. You're not being kind. You're being terrified. Terrified of being disliked. Terrified of being seen as difficult. You say yes so people won't leave. But let me ask you, what's the point of being liked by people who don't value you? What's the point of being loved for who you're not? The version of you that exists to keep others comfortable isn't the real you. It's the exhausted, edited version. People say kindness is free, but that's a lie. Kindness costs everything when it's one-sided. It costs your energy. It costs your health. It costs your time and your sanity. How many nights have you stayed awake replaying what you should have said? How many moments have you silenced your rage to keep peace with people who created chaos in the first place? And what did it give you? A few compliments? Fake peace? An internal war? No more. You are not a vending machine of love and patience. You are a human being with limits, with anger, with worth, and it's time you started acting like it. It's not your job to fix everyone. Say it out loud. It is not my job to fix everyone. You are not a repair shop for broken people who don't want to change. You are not responsible for the healing of those who cut you, and you are not here to be liked by people who thrive off your silence. If someone can't respect your boundaries, they don't belong in your life. Kindness should not be used as a survival tactic. It should be a conscious decision offered with clarity, not fear. You're not here to save people who throw themselves into fire and beg you to burn with them. You're here to choose peace, not chaos disguised as compassion. And let's get honest, this world preys on the overly kind. Employers overload you because they know you won't complain. Friends vent to you endlessly but vanish when you need a shoulder. Family crosses every line because you won't enforce one. You've become the emotional landfill. Everyone dumps on you and walks away lighter while you carry the weight. You say you're fine, but your soul is screaming. And still you tell yourself this is love. This is duty. No, it's not. It's conditioning. It's people-pleasing wrapped in spiritual guilt. It's fear of being seen as ungrateful. But guess what? You don't owe your life to people who poison it. Let's bring in logic again. What happens when a person gives endlessly without refueling? They break down, burn out, shut down. That's where you're headed. You can't keep pretending you're okay when your body is screaming rest. Your spirit is begging for solitude. Your heart is tired of clapping for people who boo you in secret. And here's the most tragic part. You don't even know who you are without being the kind one. You've wrapped your whole identity around being selfless. But who are you? When you finally say no more, when you stop being kind to everyone, something powerful happens. You meet yourself, the real you, the one who has preferences, opinions, limits, the one who doesn't smile just to smooth tension, the one who walks away when disrespected. That version of you, that's power, that's freedom, that's real kindness, the kind that starts with you. Because true kindness flows from a full cup, not a cracked one. Not a cup you drained for someone else's thirst. You want to change your life? Stop offering warmth to people who leave you in the cold. Let your love be sacred. Let your yes be rare. Let your no be holy. You want to be respected? You want to be heard? Then stop offering kindness to everyone like it's your only identity. Be honest about your limits. Speak when something hurts. Walk away when you're being drained. Stop sugarcoating your rage. Stop diluting your truth. You weren't made to be palatable for broken people. You weren't made to be the therapist, the fixer, the peacekeeper, the one holding everyone together while falling apart. You were made to be whole. And if your kindness requires you to break yourself into pieces, then it's not real kindness. It's self-sacrifice, and that's not noble. It's tragic. You deserve love that doesn't demand your silence. Respect that doesn't require your exhaustion. You deserve to be kind and firm, generous and guarded, loving and loud when necessary. No more one-sided relationships. No more bleeding for people who wouldn't offer you a Band-Aid. No more playing small so others can feel big. The world doesn't need more nice people. It needs more authentic ones. People who know their worth. People who protect their peace. People who understand that not everyone deserves their light. And maybe, just maybe, it's time you became that person. Starting now. You weren't born to be small. You weren't born to be a silent caretaker of everyone else's chaos. But somewhere along the way, you decided that kindness meant disappearing, smiling while others took what they wanted, nodding while your boundaries got bulldozed. Why? Who taught you that your role in life was to be agreeable, non-threatening, and always available? That's not kindness. That's fear wearing a nice outfit. That's self-erasure for the sake of temporary peace. But temporary peace built on your suffering always ends in war. A war inside your soul. You cannot keep shrinking and expect to grow. Have you noticed how people test you? They feel out your boundaries. They push just a little to see how much you'll tolerate. And when you don't push back, they push harder. They call it love. They call it friendship. But real love honors limits. Real respect requires resistance. If someone only loves you when you're silent, they don't love you. They love control. So ask yourself, who benefits from your kindness the most? Who gets the best of you without ever offering more than the bare minimum? If they vanish when you say no, they were never here for you in the first place. You've mistaken being easygoing for being emotionally mature. But guess what? Maturity isn't measured by how quiet you stay during chaos. It's measured by how well you protect yourself when chaos comes knocking. Emotional maturity means standing up for your soul even when it makes others uncomfortable. It means saying, "I'm not okay with this," even when your voice shakes. It means refusing to make yourself small just to keep someone else feeling big. You are not a shadow. You are not a safety net for reckless people. You are a person, and your presence should never come at the cost of your peace. Let's address the guilt, because I know it creeps in the moment you think about putting yourself first. You hear that voice in your head saying, "But they need me. But I don't want to hurt them. But I'm strong. I can handle it." No, that's the voice of conditioning. That's your old programming trying to pull you back into the role of the silent servant. But listen closely. You're not here to be needed. You're here to be whole. You're not strong because you endure abuse. You're strong when you stop accepting it. You're strong when you draw the line. And that line needs to be bold, sharp, and non-negotiable. You are not the villain for choosing yourself. Let me say that again. You are not the villain for choosing yourself. Some people will try to paint you that way. Why? Because they can't use you anymore. They can't manipulate you, guilt trip you, drain you. So they'll say you've changed. They'll say you've become cold. But here's the secret. They never loved you. They loved your compliance. And now that your compliance is gone, so are they. Let them go. Don't chase anyone who benefited from your self-betrayal. If your presence in their life was only valued when you were silent, then you never had a place there to begin with. Kindness should never require self-betrayal. If you have to lie to yourself to keep the peace, you're not being kind. You're abandoning your soul. And every time you do that, a piece of you dies. That's why you feel numb. That's why you feel lost. Because you've been betraying your truth in the name of keeping the peace. But peace without truth is just a lie in disguise. Real peace starts when you stop lying to yourself. When you stop calling disrespect love. When you stop saying "I'm fine" just to keep things calm. Say what you mean. Say what hurts. Let your truth be louder than their expectations. And yes, it's going to feel uncomfortable. You'll shake. You'll question yourself. You'll feel alone at first. But hear me. Discomfort is proof you're breaking old chains. You're not being cruel. You're not being rude. You're setting a new standard. And when you raise your standard, the wrong people will leave, but the right ones will rise to meet you. That's the trade. You lose the users and gain the ones who actually see your worth, the ones who love your voice, not your silence, the ones who respect your no as much as they value your yes. Those are your people. Wait for them. Protect your energy until they arrive. Stop thinking you have to explain yourself to everyone. You don't owe anyone a speech for choosing peace. You don't have to justify your boundaries. No is a complete sentence. I don't want to is reason enough. If someone needs you to hurt yourself just to feel close to them, they're not your friend. They're an emotional parasite. Real relationships are built on mutual respect, not one-sided sacrifice. You've spent too long apologizing for your needs, for your voice, for your space. No more. Start apologizing to yourself for all the times you didn't stand up for your soul, and then promise you'll never do it again. If your kindness is killing you, it's not kindness anymore. It's codependency. It's identity loss. It's trauma dancing in a costume of generosity. And you don't owe the world your destruction just to be seen as good. Be honest about who you are. Be loud about what you want. Be clear about what you won't tolerate. And let people be uncomfortable with your boundaries. That's their burden to carry, not yours. You've carried too much for too long. It's time to put it down. It's time to remember that kindness isn't about being walked over. It's about walking in truth, even if it means walking alone. And if no one has told you this before, let me be the first. You're allowed to outgrow people. You're allowed to stop being kind to those who misuse it. You're allowed to walk away. You're allowed to change. And you're allowed to do it without shame, guilt, or explanation. Because the most powerful kindness you can ever offer is the kindness you give to yourself. The moment you choose peace over people, pleasing, strength over silence, truth over comfort, that's the moment your life begins to change. Let this be that moment. Right here, right now. You're not selfish for wanting to breathe. You're not heartless for refusing to bleed for people who would never offer you a bandage. You're not cruel for reclaiming your time, your energy, your space. This isn't bitterness, it's awakening. You're waking up from the lie that your worth comes from how much you give, that your value is measured by your ability to endure. That love means bending until you snap. No more. Let them call you selfish. Let them say you've changed, because you have. You finally realize that your kindness was never meant to be currency for affection. It was supposed to be a gift, not an obligation. And here's what's wild. When you stop being overly kind to everyone, the world starts to show you who's real. The moment you say, no, I can't do that, the masks fall. The fake friends get quiet. The takers retreat. The manipulators lash out. Good. Let them reveal themselves. Let the silence expose the truth. Your no is a spotlight. It shows you who was here for your spirit and who was just here for the benefits. Be thankful for that exposure. Be thankful when your boundaries offend people. It means they were never with you for the right reasons, and you're finally free to see it. Let's stop calling people difficult just because they won't destroy themselves for others. You've labeled yourself as too much for too long, too intense, too assertive, too honest. But the truth is, you're just clear. You see through the lies. You feel the imbalance. You recognize manipulation in disguise. And that makes people uncomfortable. But that discomfort isn't your problem to solve. You're not here to soften your truth so others can stay asleep. You're here to wake up, to rise, to say the thing no one wants to say. I'm done sacrificing myself for people who won't even clap when I win. Start observing who checks on you when you stop reaching out, who stays loyal when you draw lines, who claps when you succeed without them. That's where your tribe is. That's where real connection lives. It's not in the people who love you only when you serve them. It's in those who love you when you serve yourself. Let that be your new filter. If your growth offends them, let them leave. If your voice scares them, let them run. If your truth burns their lies, let it burn everything that was fake. Real connection thrives in honesty, not performance. So stop performing, start living. You can't heal in places where you're constantly pretending. You can't thrive in environments that punish your authenticity. You can't grow around people who only see you as useful, and you shouldn't have to. Life is too short to stay in roles that drain you, too sacred to waste it playing a character someone else designed. You don't have to be the peacemaker anymore. You don't have to be the one holding everyone together. Let the pieces fall. Let the silence speak. Let the distance grow. What's meant for you will never require your constant exhaustion. Never. This isn't just about relationships. It's about your entire way of being. You've normalized exhaustion. You've romanticized selflessness. You've celebrated burnout like it's a badge of honor. It's not. It's a red flag. You're not supposed to be tired all the time. You're not supposed to feel resentful after giving. You're not supposed to walk away from conversations feeling smaller, dimmer, erased. That's not kindness. That's emotional theft. And you're allowing it. Not because you're weak, but because you were taught that love means overextending, that goodness means disappearing, but that ends now, right now. Let me ask you this. Who are you when you're not rescuing everyone? Who are you without the role of the fixer? The helper? The emotional sponge? Have you ever met that version of you? The one who doesn't jump to solve everyone else's mess? The one who doesn't say yes to everything just to keep people close? That version of you is powerful. And maybe that's what scares you. Because if you stop being needed, what's left? Here's the answer: freedom. Freedom is what's left. Space, stillness, time to heal, time to choose, not react, not perform. Choose who you become. People will try to guilt you when you start saying no. They'll call you distant, cold, arrogant. Let them say whatever they want. The truth is, they're not mad that you set a boundary. They're mad they can't control you anymore. That's the root of their anger. And you don't owe them a damn thing. Not your energy, not your time, not your explanations. The people who get angry at your boundaries are the same ones who benefited from your lack of them. Protect yourself from their guilt traps. You are not unkind for refusing to be used. You are not bad for protecting your peace. You are wise. And let me be blunt, not everyone is meant to be saved. Some people need to sit with the consequences of their actions. Some people need to hear no and feel the sting of accountability. And if you keep rushing in with your cape, you rob them of the pain that might have changed them. Stop trying to rescue people who are committed to their chaos. That's not compassion, it's codependence. It's martyrdom disguised as love. And you don't need to die on every hill just to prove you care. You can love someone and still walk away. You can care and still protect yourself. That's real strength. So here's the shift. Stop asking, am I being kind enough? And start asking, am I being true to myself? Because real kindness starts with truth. And sometimes the kindest thing you can do is say goodbye. Say it with tears, with love, with finality. Say it knowing that you're choosing you. Say it even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. Because once you start choosing yourself fully, unapologetically, the world changes. You don't have to destroy yourself to be good. Real goodness includes protection. Real light knows when to cut off the switch. You are not weak for saying no. You are not rude for enforcing boundaries. You are not mean for choosing peace. You are finally telling the world, I matter too. This isn't about becoming cold. It's about becoming clear. Crystal clear on who you are, what you deserve, and what you'll no longer accept. Clarity is not cruelty. Boundaries are not walls. They are gates. They let in what's healthy and keep out what's toxic. And the moment you install them, your life begins to shift. The chaos quiets, the wrong people fade, the right ones show up. But none of that happens if you keep being kind to everyone, hoping it'll earn you love. Love isn't earned by abandonment. It's found in truth. And the truth is, your kindness has been hijacked for too long. So what now? Now you rise. Now you reclaim. Now you decide, no more pretending, no more performing, no more shrinking. You speak. You step back, you stand tall, you say, I'm done being everything for everyone and nothing for myself. And if that means people leave, let them. If it means you walk alone for a while, walk proudly. Because the path of self-respect is often lonely at first, but it leads to everything real. Real friends, real peace, real power. And above all, a real you, unmasked, unapologetic, unshakable. And remember this. The world doesn't need more polite, passive, burned-out souls. It needs you, the real you. The one who's not afraid to speak up. The one who protects their peace like sacred ground. The one who knows that being kind doesn't mean being a doormat. That love doesn't mean self-erasure. That giving doesn't mean self-destruction. So stop being kind to everyone. Start being kind to yourself. That's where your power begins. That's where your healing begins. That's where your life begins.